everybody, welcome back to this short cooking series. The last episode we talked about chicken and finding the perfect temperature. This go around we're talking burgers. That's turkey and beef. Okay, you're gonna find that I cook burger just a little bit differently, and then the reason why that is I want sauces and buns to be optional. This falls more in line with meal prep. Okay, so I'll do for our house. I'll do an entire rack of turkey and an entire rack of beef, and it all gets cut up and either parsed up and put in the freezer for later or into the fridge. But the meat itself, when you take it out of the fridge and you're ready to eat, it's ready to eat by itself. Sauces and buns, they're totally optional, and in my mind that's what you want with a good burger. Okay, so without any further ado, let's get out to the table and let's start cooking. All right, we're out at the table here. We're gonna start with the foundation of good burgers that don't require any sauces, and that's seasoning. Okay, so I've got 4 containers here, 2 containers for turkey burger, 2 for beef burger, and I've got all my seasonings out and ready to go. My 2 measuring spoons, 1 measuring spoon, half teaspoon, the other one a tablespoon. Okay, so these aren't all gonna go in the turkey burger. These are all gonna go in the beef burger though. Okay, so we've got black pepper, meat tenderizer, chili powder, onion powder, Italian seasoning, garlic salt. Okay, pretty simple. We're gonna start with the 2 on the end, and that is the half teaspoon. Okay. Oh, that's all right. I'll get that later. No big deal. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Now we're done with the half teaspoon. Okay. Except for, forgot the turkey burger side. This is gonna be the turkey burger side. Okay. Pepper goes in all of them. Now, chili powder. Already done with that. Chili powder goes into the beef. It is a really great flavor to have in with the beef. Okay, we got that. Onion powder. Again, this is going into the beef. The beef gets a little bit more seasoning, gets a little bit more love. Because turkey burger by nature tends to be more of a blank canvas as far as the flavor of the meat itself. And now we've got the Italian seasoning and garlic salt. This goes in all 4. Okay. I like to do this beforehand just because when I start mixing, I don't want to be futzing around with all this. So I like to have all my seasonings just prepared to just dump right in. Okay. Super easy, right? Okay. We're done with these. I'm gonna get these out of the way. I'm gonna bring in the burger and we're gonna start mixing. All right, so we're ready to start prepping our patties. I've got these in portions of 3 pounds, 3 pounds, 3.5 pounds, 3.5 pounds. That's just because that's what comes from the store. This is 2 of the ground turkey packages just put together, and then 2. And then I bought 6 pounds, just a lump of 6 pounds of ground beef cut in half, there and there, okay? We've got this, we've got this, we've got our seasonings that we already did, and we've got trays to put it all on, okay? So let's go ahead and start. I'm gonna go ahead and put this guy straight in. I use a stand-up mixer, okay? I don't use my hands. It takes too long. I'm impatient, okay? I'm after when I'm cooking for meal prep, I'm after speed, okay? So, in goes the turkey burger, in goes the seasoning. I'm gonna lock it, start slow. Okay, and it's really that simple and that quick. This is the reason why I like using the stand-up mixer for this. Okay. You start it up, you start it slow. And then you just bump it up a little bit, but it is done, okay? Now we can start making patties. Here's in part what makes my patties different, okay? Amongst other reasons. I'm making just monstrous patties. You can see the size of that ball, okay? And the reason why that is, I'm gonna put this in the pan, and I'm making patties that are well over an inch, guys. Well over an inch. We're talking 1.25 inches, approaching 1.5 inches. And the reason why is, you'll see at the end, that this is gonna get cut into pieces. So that all we have to do when we're ready to eat is just take it out of the container, take out however, how much you want amount-wise, warm it up, and that's it, okay? No burger, bun, no anything like that. What you're eating is essentially you're kind of ditching the idea of a traditional burger on a bun, and that includes the shape of the patty itself. I'm going to show you at the very end also, you totally have the option to use a bun for something like this. Have a great big monstrous patty. It would be you know, probably pretty fun to have big patties like that. You may not be able to eat a whole one. You might want to share it. Might want to share it with your friend. But these are going to be real big patties, guys. Real big, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and just put a dimple in them now. I'm going to put dimples in all of these. They say, whoever they are, they say if you put dimples in your burgers, your burger patties, that it prevents it from shrinking. And it does, not by a large amount, but it does help. It does help keep its shape. Okay, they're still gonna shrink, but that's okay. That's no big deal. Okay, like that. Just make a little divot in there. And my leftover is just a small amount. Actually, I'll just keep that guy in there. Okay, so I'm going to wipe this hand so that I've got a clean hand. Okay, just a wipe. Make a mess of that towel, that's all right. You also notice that I've got gloves on. I like to do, I'm just gonna take it off like this. I like to have gloves for this because it keeps my hands clean. So if I forget something, I need to walk away and walk away for a second, grab an ingredient, something like that, grab a door handle or something. I can just take this off, which I'm gonna do right now. I can just take this off and then go do what I need to do. I've got a clean hand at all times, and then I can put on another glove. No big deal. Okay, so same thing here. While that's mixing, I'm gonna grab another glove. That's ready to get turned up. And we're ready. Okay, super fast. That's what we want. We want fast. With this amount of burger that you're screwing around with, it's really nice to have everything be designed for speed, okay? So we'll go ahead and make our next set of patties. And I'm gonna put this on the next cookie sheet. And the reason why I've got 2 cookie sheets, I can't put this entire amount on one cookie sheet without stacking them up, and I don't want to stack them. And the reason why I don't want to stack them is because these turkey burgers are going in the freezer. So while the beef burgers are cooking, these turkey burgers are getting a little bit firm. I'm not after getting them completely frozen, okay? The reason why I do this is because when I go to take these out and put them on the grill, I'm gonna be handling them. And as you can tell, turkey burger is this turkey burger is a really loose grind, okay? It's sticky and it's all over the place. So if you could imagine taking up one of these and then putting it on the grill, you can do it that way. I just don't like to do it that way. I like the outside to be just a little bit firm. That way, when I go to put it on there, it's just a little bit easier. And that guy is huge. Look at that. Look how big that guy is. Okay. Size, as far as big around is concerned, really doesn't matter for this, because each one of these is almost like a little meatloaf. And this is getting cooked on the smoker. It's not getting cooked on a gas grill. It's getting cooked on a smoker, so it's going to be lower temperature for a longer period of time. It's going to be on there for about an hour. The beef burgers are going to be on there for about an hour. These are going to be on there for almost an hour, okay? So this last one, this will be a big one too, okay? That's looking good. Now, those are ready for the freezer, okay? Now, I'm going to wash this so we have no cross-contamination, because now we're going over to beef. So we'll be right back. All right, we're back. Quick cleanup, washed, and I even wiped out. You probably saw me touch the outside of the mixer. That's been cleaned up. New towel, everything is reset. Keep your kitchen clean, guys. Keep your kitchen clean, it's really important. It only takes a second, okay? So now we're ready for the next one. We're ready for beef. In goes my beef. Not ready for that yet. Okay, seasonings. In it goes. Okay, on this one, make sure to start real low. If you don't start low, all this ground beef wants to jump out, because this is a lot firmer than the turkey burger. Okay, so we're gonna start on low. We're already ready to turn it up. Didn't take very long. I'm gonna let this run just a little bit longer. Yeah, see there, it wants to jump out. I'm gonna let this go just a little bit longer just to make sure, because it's firmer, I'm gonna make sure that we have really good incorporation of the seasoning. Let's check. Yeah, and it still didn't take very long, and we're ready, okay? This is the reason why I like using a stand-up mixer for this. Okay, we're ready to make some patties. I'm doing the same thing. Okay, I'm making these pretty big. Making them pretty big. A lot easier, not so sticky, right? A little bit different situation. And for that reason, these aren't gonna go in the freezer or anything like that. Put a little divot in it. And that's why these are gonna go on first in the first place. Some of you out there, you might really like big patties. You know, sometimes at restaurants and stuff like that, you can get, you know, great big, huge, just cartoonishly large patties, which is fun, that's great. And that's an option here. You can do that. Now, what makes this different though is we're not going necessarily for, you know, medium or medium well or anything like that. This is going to be pretty close to, I don't want to say well done, but slightly above medium well is what we're after. And the reason why is because this is smoked and we're going low and slow. Part of the reason why most of the time, if you're grilling a burger, a beef burger, and you want to shoot for medium well, is because it can get really dry. It can turn into a really unpleasant thing to eat. But if you're going low and slow with burger, you can see in the burger all of this miscellaneous stuff that's in the grind, okay? A lot of that stuff, like I mentioned before, is connective tissue. And because it's going in the smoker and you're going low and slow, not terribly low, but just lower, some of this stuff is going to render into something that is not super tough, and it's still going to be plenty moist. So for the most part, we're going just right above medium well. You could, if you wanted to go medium well on these, you absolutely could. There's not, as long as you're making your burgers in a clean kitchen and you're getting quality meat, there's very little risk of getting sick from undercooked beef. And the reason why that is cows eat plant life. They eat grass. They're supposed to anyways. They're plant eaters by nature, okay? And the reason why there are additional rules when it comes to poultry and pork and some other wild game, not all game, but some wild game, is because turkey and chicken and pork, they eat whatever they find, okay? They can eat some really questionable things, and it's safe for them to eat, but they can end up with, you know, parasites and other undesirable things, and it can end up in the meat, and that's the reason why it can make you sick. That's the reason why you don't want to consume poultry and pork below 165 degrees. And with beef, if you wanted to, you could eat it raw. And some people do. I don't, but some people do. Okay, so we are ready for these burgers. Now we're going to set these two pans. We're going to set them in the freezer. These are going in. We'll see you in just a minute. Now we're out here at the grill. We're ready to put these on. In the meantime, I've already taken my turkey burger. They are in the freezer, chilling out while these guys cook. Just gonna kind of stagger these guys in here. If you remember back in other episodes, I warned you about this grill. You want to make positively sure that you don't load your meat past the grease tray. These are going to drip. Okay, so when we come back, these are going to be ready in about an hour. When we come back, we're going to pull these off. I'm going to take the turkey burgers out of the freezer, and they're going in. We'll see you back here in a bit. All right, so we're ready to pull these beef burgers off, and they are looking good. Okay, so I'm gonna make sure to give them a tip over while it's still on the grease tray. Remember, we put the little dimples in there to make sure that they kept their shape. Well, it's also a collection place for all the drippings. Okay, so we're going to make sure that that goes where it's supposed to go. I'm putting these burgers, this go around, I'm putting them in a container that I'm going to put in the oven just to keep these warm. I don't typically do that, but since we're here filming, I want to cut these up at the same time as the turkey burgers. So I'm just going to keep them warm in the oven. That's no big deal. Okay, golly, those are looking good. Okay, come here, you. And with the turkey burgers, before I came out, I was able to kind of stack them up here. And that was because I froze them. They're still just cold in the middle, but on the very outside, it's a little bit frozen, so I can handle them real easy now. They're not a sticky mess, okay? I'm gonna pack these in here a little bit tighter, if I can. See how well I can do that. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. I'm going to leave a little window right here because the patty in the center of the grill, that's the patty that I'm going to put my probe in there. I'm going to be searching for 165 degrees, and I'm going to pull this right at 165 degrees. You can overcook turkey burgers, so that's what I don't want. I'm going to put this probe in there. Just like that. And we'll see you back at 165 degrees when we pull these guys out. All right, these burgers are ready to come off. We're at 165. They are looking fantastic. Okay, same thing as before. I'm just gonna give them a little tip. Make sure we leave the mess in the grill. Gonna utilize that grease tray. after I take these all out of here, I'm going to cover them up. I'm going to let them rest about 10-15 minutes. Before we start cutting on them. If you can, you should always try and rest your meat. It's a good way to return the moisture back to where you want it in that meat. Okay? Alright. Now we're going to head on inside. And after the rest, we're going to start cutting. Alright guys, these burgers are done. And would you look at these burgers. So I've got a couple of buns here, just brioche buns here. I wanted you to see how ridiculous that looks. Isn't that awesome? Okay, here's a beef. Let's go with the turkey. And there's the turkey. Okay, I'm gonna let these guys just hang out in the background while I'm cutting this meat. But I wanted you to see that just because, you know, it's a whole lot of fun, and it should be, okay? So if you wanna make these big burgers like this and serve them up, that's what they'll look like, and they will be amazing, okay? So let's get to cutting. What I like to do is cut these first in half. And then start cutting these. Not quite a quarter, not quite a half. Technically, we're talking 3/8 if you wanted to think about it like that. But if we take a look inside, you can see a definite smoke ring around here. And because we put just a little bit of tenderizer in here with the beef, it is just unbelievably tender. It's amazing. Okay, so that's what we got for the beef. And then I'll show you the turkey. Same thing. Cut them all the same size. This is all getting put away for later. All the more reason that you want to make sure that you don't cook the heck out of your meat if you plan on reheating. Reheating is not a big deal so long as you have moisture in your meat in the first place, okay? And same thing here. Nice smoke ring around here. You can see the seasoning in it, and it is just an amazing flavor, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and start cutting the rest of this, all right? All right, and there you have it, guys. After just a little bit of cutting, we've got a mountain of lean ground beef and turkey burger for meal prep. This is an amazing thing to give a try. I suggest you try it. So I hope you enjoyed this episode on burgers, everything burgers. This is essentially what we want right here. Meat that you can just by itself, you can just start eating just by itself. Okay, that's what we want with meal prep. Turkey is low fat, and if you go with a lower fat burger, this is perfect as far as having something that tastes really good in your fridge all the time. That it makes it really good, really easy to adhere to a specific type of diet that you're trying to work toward too. Okay, so make good food, and that'll keep you on track. Here's another way that I really enjoy it, specifically turkey burger. A cracker and a piece of smoked cheese and a piece of turkey burger right on top. They're kind of like hors d'oeuvres. Okay, the smoked cheese, I wanted to make mention of the smoked cheese because that's our next episode. That's our next episode. We're going straight into smoked cheese. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so just as a reminder, there's a link down in the show notes back to the very first episode that I put together with all the equipment that I use. So if you got any question as far as like what I'm using or any of that, costs, all that stuff, it's all back in the first episode. So hit the link and that'll take you over there. Okay, thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. We'll see you next time.